put your hands together for the fantastic Ethan, everybody. Ethan, get on up here.
So, as you said, my name is Ethan. I'm a professor of organic chemistry. That's not the joke. I'm paid to teach people organic chemistry, but really what I'm paid to do now is to teach people how to learn, and that really is pretty difficult. So what I'm going to talk to you guys about today is the one thing that is the bane of my existence, which is information siloing. So you're probably wondering, what is information siloing? To borrow the term from the business community, one thing that they've done right, so is information siloing is when you internalize information by rote memorization. When you need that information, you just parrot it back. So you're super awesome at Geeks Who Drink, but you really are just vomiting information back like some kind of crazy hipster information bulimic. And it sucks. You really don't know anything. You just sound smart. So I figured, apropos to today's political climate, the best way to illustrate this to you is the racism. So I will tell you before my set is up, I will tell you 3 racist stories. So, racist story number 1. As an organic chemistry professor, one of the most recurring complaints that I get is, Dr. Tsai's class is so hard, I don't understand him, his accent is too thick. That's not the joke. The point is that somewhere, this student has heard from some rumor that I have a terrible accent. My last name is East Asian. I don't speak English, apparently. It's not my first language. True, but if I have an accent, it's because I lived in Minnesota for a long time. This person basically just goes online to the inner tubes to ratemyfuckingprofessors.com and then just fishes around to prove his point. But the problem is that, is Rate My Professors really that reliable? No, it's not. It's not peer-reviewed. I will note, however, that I earned that chili pepper. I worked for that chili pepper. The problem with internalizing information like that, information siloing, is that you don't learn anything. You really don't learn anything. To learn, you must take apart information to its constituent pieces, analyze it, digest it, and then apply it, and more importantly, test it, and push the limits of what it can be applied to, so you know where it fails, so that you know when you're wrong. And when you are wrong, then you can be right. Racist story number 2. So, I had a student who ascribed to the notion that I had an accent. And he went to the chair of my department and said, I can't learn from this particular person. And the chair of the department said, no, go to his office hours. And he did. Lo and behold, after a semester, he passed my class, did very well, and he admitted to me, somewhat shamefully afterwards, Dr. Tsai, I'm sorry, I thought that you had a really heavy accent. It's not true. Your material is just really hard, and it scared me. It made me uncomfortable to think that I was wrong all the time. And you're an asshole. So, that kind of proves the other point, though, is that we information silo, and then we sample bias online, and we go to those echo chambers that you've heard of before because we don't like to be wrong. And that's the hardest part, right? You don't want to be wrong, so you look for information that proves you're right. But if you really want to learn, what do you need to do? You have to look for information that might prove you're wrong. We do that in science all the time. You form a hypothesis, you digest it, you tear it apart, and you try to prove it wrong to the best of your ability. Because that's how we get to be right. We're jerks as scientists. So, the last thing I'm going to warn you of is that this happens to everybody. It doesn't matter how good you are or noble you think you might be. Everybody silos information. Everybody's a little bit racist. The point is that even if it makes you uncomfortable, we have to constantly sit down and think about what we are doing, what we say, and how we internalize information when we get it from wherever we get it. Because if we don't, we're just memorizing. You're not really learning anything. And it happens to the best of us. Oh, yeah. So, racist story number 3. I was visiting Japan, the second most polite country next to Canada, and I got to meet the abbot of a Buddhist monastery. Amazing. And as it turns out, he's Japanese, and I didn't want to embarrass myself. As a Taiwanese person, we have a rocky history. So I spoke Japanese to the best of my ability. I did my best, which is to say I sounded like a somewhat mentally insufficient 3-year-old. And he simply turned and looked at me. And he smiled that smile. And he extended his hand to me and said, "Hi, my name is Ray. I'm from LA. Good night."
Way to go, Ethan. Keep it going for him. Good job, Ethan. Yeah. That's what we want.